And we're back. Today I want to do a review of the Dan Durston X-Drop X-Mid one-person tent. And by comparison, I want to compare it to my REI quarter dome. Now, to begin, the main reason why I bought this tent and decided to go get away from my quarter dome was this tent has over 3,000 miles on it, on trail. It's probably stayed in this thing 150 nights, 100, 150, that's between times and shelters and this and that. But there's been a lot of use of this quarter dome, and it is about 6 years old. Never had any rain issues, any water seeping in issues. My concern with this tent at this point is just wear and tear. That probably needs to be recoated on the outside of the tent itself. And it weighs about, this is 2.2 ounces, so that's several ounces more than this. It's about 1.5 pounds, and a little smaller, a little bigger footprint, and I can actually put all my stuff inside the vestibule that I can't do in the quarter dome. Whereas I can only enter one side of this, I guess, multiple sides. But yeah, the quarter dome is a very good tent, serves its purpose, but as you can see, by comparison, it's about twice the size, takes up twice as much space, and ultimately, I'm trying to get to where I can use a smaller backpack. And having a tent that is twice the size really serves no purpose. Granted, this is a good tent, it's 2.2 pounds, probably a little more, closer to 2.5 pounds at this point in time because of stakes and whatnot, because I always carry a few extras because you end up losing them, especially when you first get a new tent. I don't know what it is. You get a new tent, you lose half your stakes. You have to go buy more stakes. And then after that, you don't need any more. So now, let me tell you about the pros of the the Dan Durston X-Mid one-person tent. Number one, the size. Very compact. It comes in two pieces. You put the top in the vestibule part first, and then you insert the netting of the tent inside. It has clips, and it is set up with trekking poles, which I always carry 2 trekking poles. I like hiking with trekking poles. This is something I've always done. Now, I'll tell you this. There's enough room inside this tent for a Nemo tensor long and wide. So that's enough room in there to stick that in there and have about 6 inches on one side and 6 inches on the other. So you get about a foot to play with or less. But you will notice that when you're sitting up in the tent, your shoulders will rub on the sides of the nets. Sometimes some people that might think that's a deal breaker. I do not. You get in there, as long as you can get up multiple times during the night, it's fine for a one-person tent. There's 2 doors on this tent, one on the left side, and it'll be one on where your feet are on the right side. And this is great for 2 reasons. Number one is, in most one-person tents, you have the one door. And you get the one door, you got your gear, your backpack and other gear, and then you got your shoes. This way, I can put my backpack down here near my feet, and I can have my shoes here, which basically allows me to kind of separate everything. That way I can make sure everything stays dry inside the tent. But again, this is just one night in my X-Drop. Now, let me tell you about the cons. This quarter dome, I never used a ground sheet, ground cloth, anything. Never tore. I do believe there are some small pinholes in this tent now, just wear and tear, of course. One night on trail, no ground sheet, tore it. One night at home, patched it up. Yeah, so if you're going to take the X-Drop, you have to understand that this is not as durable as your standard REI tent, or it's not anything that REI would sell. They tend to sell stuff that's a little heavier, a little more durable, good tents, not ultralight. This is a good entry point for an ultralight backpack. It's only 220 bucks. You got it off Amazon, or you can get it on Mass-Drop. Part of the reason why I went ahead and made this purchase is because I know the two-person tents were gone on Amazon, and I didn't know how many I had left in stock on Amazon for the one person, so I went ahead and made the purchase, and pretty happy. I think the two-person tent would allow for just more room inside the tent, but that also creates another problem. The footprint of this tent is rather large. It's about half the size of the quarter dome, but you have more room underneath the tent, on the outside of the actual tent spot underneath the vestibule. So, pros and cons, of course. Overall, in my one night in the X-Drop, and I would have took it out this weekend, however, the ground cloth that I ordered, the Tyvek ground cloth, is actually still in shipping with United States Postal Service. Because I don't know what's happened, but apparently shipping now is a problem. We've gone, rain, sleet, or snow, there's no issue. Pandemic, not really an issue. All of a sudden, now I can't get packages to me on time. I don't understand what's going on. I don't know if they're short-staffed, what it is. But, I'd appreciate it if the United States Postal Service would tighten up a little bit. But anyway, overall, I'm very happy with this purchase. And I'm looking forward to taking it on the John Muir Trail and run it the paces. When I get my ground sheet, I will push forward with that. But again, let me just show you a comparison of what we're looking for on a normal one-person tent from REI and the Dan Durston X-Drop. It compresses down. It's like half the size, literally. So, understand that this tent is not as durable. Understand that its footprint is slightly larger than the quarter dome. Also, remember, if you don't have your trekking poles, you can't use this tent. Most importantly, you got to baby this one a little more than this. That's why you need to be able to put this inside your tent, where this right here hung on the bottom or the top of my backpack the entire time I was on the Appalachian Trail. So, when I recommend this tent, absolutely, it's an excellent entry point for ultralight backpacking. If you want to shave a pound off your standard one-person tent, go this route. I don't have $700 to throw on a tent. If so, I would probably do something with maybe tarp tent or Z-Packs or Hyperlight, because those sure do look nice. But again, I don't have $500, $600, $700, $1,000 to waste on an ultralight tent. This is a good entry point, and it'll shave a pound off your gear. I would suggest maybe you buy this tent, get a couple hundred miles under it, and if you want to make a bigger purchase, a nicer tent down the road, especially since you're going lighter, you're replacing a lot of your older gear, go get you Z-Packs, but for what I need it for, and just what this tent is capable of doing, get you the X-Drop. 220 bucks, good purchase. Make sure you get a ground cloth. You can get it off Amazon. They're like 20 bucks with shipping. For whatever reason, Prime doesn't pay for the Tyvek sheets, whatever. So check it out. It's an excellent backpack, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. All right, you guys have a good day.